Hey everyone, I'm back, and here is another CalvinBall layout. So this is one of the layouts that I did back, I think, the first week. And stencils was one of the prompts that you could get points for. And I have had this glitter paste in my stash and this really cool floral stencil for a long time. And I have been wanting to use them together, but I just couldn't find a reason to do it. It makes a mess. It's kind of a hassle, and then you have to wait for it to dry. So all of the things that I don't like about scrapbooking, it seemed like, oh. But the fact that it was a Calvin ball, and the fact it was a Calvin ball point, I thought, you know what, I am going to do this. So I did the stenciling and I set it aside for about 5 hours and did a couple other pages, and then I came back to finish the layout. So this turned out beautifully. Now, this is a Heidi Swap stencil, so it is cardboard and not plastic. So I think I'm about at the end of my ability to use it. You can see I've used it before with some green paint, so it's usually white. And you can't really wipe it off with a wet paper towel because it's cardboard. It's not firm enough for the water, but I think I probably can get more use out of it. But I really like how it ends up turning out, and you can tell the results of that particular stencil are just beautiful, and it's got so much glitter. So that is now dry, and you can see it's got dimension, and it's great. So the other thing that I'm doing here is baby was one of the Calvin ball points, and it's been a long time since I've had babies. But my nephew was born back, I think, 2013, and I had not scrapbooked these pictures. So I decided to take some time to scrapbook these particular pictures, and I got a point for baby. Now, the other thing that I'm scrapbooking is the fact that the first time they left me alone with him, I turned on the best movie in the whole wide world, Clue the movie, and he and I sat down and watched it and he laughed. It was fun. It was a great time. I'm not sure that my brother appreciated the fact that I showed him Clue, but in my mind, everyone should see Clue, and that's what Aunt Jessie is for. So that's what I wrote on that label that I put right there on the picture. And you can see a picture of his head, and he's watching Clue the movie there with me. So basically that is the core of this layout is I'm going to put those two pictures. I'm using Flower Market, I believe, paper from Simple Stories, or Flower Market paper there, and then a Simple Stories set for the page that I did the stenciling on. They are not even from the same manufacturer, but if you look, the colors, the teals and the pinks all matched, and the flowers even looked similar. So I found that interesting that I could find two different sets of paper and put them together, and they ended up working really well together. Now, I really wanted to journal the story that, I was the first time I'd watched him and that I turned on Clue because I think that's just a cute kind of memory that I want to have. But I just couldn't find a place that I could put the journaling card and it wouldn't cover up either the glitter paste or the flowers on the bottom. So I was trying to find kind of a unique way to include this journaling because it's important to me now to have the journaling on the card, but also to make sure that that the page still looks pretty. So what I'm going to end up doing is making a hidden journal spot. This is also one of those things that I've just started doing in my pages, and it really does let you maintain kind of the creativity and the prettiness of your page, but still get that journaling on there. The older I get, and that was me checking the back of the photo to get the date. Amazon went through a time where if you printed from the Amazon Photos app, they would print the date on the back of the photo. And that was awesome because then I could always remember what the date was every time I did a picture. Uh, I printed a whole like 150 pictures from Amazon, and the date wasn't on the back of them. And my Amazon photo has like 14,000 pictures in it. Like I've stored photos in there for a long time, and I just assumed the date's going to be on the back, and it wasn't there. So I got really stressed. And now the last set I printed, they had the date back on again. So if you use Amazon and you use Amazon Photos, I think the date's printing again. So that's a good news. And there's me just stapling a cute little ribbon. And here's me figuring out that I'm going to hide this behind this photo. So, like I was saying before, the older I get and the more I look at my scrapbook pages, the more I have determined that the journaling really is important to me, just to tell the story and so that my kids know the story. Because, I feel like they're going to want to know what I was thinking and why I journaled these pictures and what was significant to me. Now, some pages, it's okay. Some pages are just there to look pretty. They're just a funny moment or a good picture, and you don't have to have journaling. Um, but on pages that you're telling a story that matters to you, I've gotten more intentional about journaling and intentional about telling the story. So this particular one, it just, to me, it was just kind of, it's one of those things that I'd like Eden to look back and know that Aunt Jessie showed him Clue as maybe even his first movie. And, I just think that's fun. And I think that's kind of one of those things that I'm going to look back and remember. So now I've got that on there with the journaling. It's going to kind of stick out so you can pull it out of the page protector if you want to. And I'm going to attach this. Now, if I wasn't doing CalvinBall, I might have stopped here because to me, this is, the stencil and that glitter, it's a lot on a page. And I like how it looks. But because I'm doing CalvinBall, I'm trying to kind of think outside the box and use more of my embellishments and use more of my tools and my supplies. And that's one of the good things I think about CalvinBall, is that it does make you kind of think about what you're putting on your page and try to find new ways to use those supplies. But I probably would have stopped here, maybe put a little title, and that was it. So I'm not sure what I'm doing next now. It's just kind of frozen. Oh, there I am. I was like, don't know what happened. So I'm going to add this rainbow because rainbow was a point. Wood veneer is a point. So I'm going to find some wood veneer. And the wood veneer says hello. So I end up using that as part of the title, which I thought was kind of fun. Now, flamingo was a point, and I think that might have been a pelican. I think I took credit for the flamingo. And ice cream was a point, so I added ice cream. And this like goes against everything I believe for scrapbooking in some ways, but I just threw all those on there because I did think it was kind of fun just to have all of those different kind of things, and they're kind of like for a kid. So I added a heart, and so that was kind of the bulk of my embellishment. I don't think it really takes away because it's all in that one corner of the page. So, and that's where the flowers already were, and they're all in the right color scheme. So they're all those light pinks and the teals. The rainbow is more of a teal rainbow and not a kind of a primary color. So I don't think it takes away too much, but it is a little bit more than I usually do on a page. For those of you that have seen my scrapbook pages, you'll know this is more than maybe I normally do. So now, what I'm looking for now is one more word to kind of complete the title so that I can have a kind of a completed title, and it says, "Hello, you are amazing." And that is kind of how I feel about being an aunt. It's fun. My kids, I had my kids pretty young. I was in my early 20s, and my brother waited a little bit longer. So even though he's younger than me, he also waited longer to have kids. So it took a while for me to have nephews, for me to be that aunt. And just being able to be the aunt and to see the kids is kind of fun because, it's almost like being a grandparent because you can play with them and then give them back, but it's not as much responsibility. So I have enjoyed being an aunt, and I enjoy this kind of time that I get to spend with them. So here is my final layout, and I enjoyed making this. And I'm going to show you now, like while I add up the points. I don't remember how many points this one actually got for me, but I hope you enjoyed this out, and I hope you enjoyed the process. And if you're doing Calvin Ball, please let me know. I would love to know how much points you're getting and what you're doing. Um, and like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe and leave me a comment and let me know how you're doing with Calvin Ball, and if you're spending time putting a few more embellishments on a page than you used to. Have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.